Hey everybody, it's Edie and welcome to the Litha edition of the Discovering Your Energetic Wheel of the Year series. This is an exclusive video series that I'm doing just for those of you here in Edie'd Cosmic Gathering Place. It's just a little thank you to all of you for spending your time with me and sharing your energetic space with me. Just sharing my insights and my personal associations for each of the Sabbats and Esbats on the turning of the Wheel of the Year. I hope that something I say resonates with all of you and that it enriches your personal practice as well. So Litha is by far my least celebrated holiday on the entire Wheel of the Year. It's the first day of summer. It's the Summer Solstice. It's the longest day of the year, and it is the bottom on my totem pole because I am so not a summer kind of girl. Summer is my least favorite season, and so I just really don't do a whole hell of a lot to celebrate this day. When Christopher was little, we used to do crafts and different things like that. We always did crafts and cooking projects and what have you anyway, but we would kind of theme the things that we did around the solstice. And so when he was a little bit smaller, I used to do more, but now that he's not so small, I don't really do a whole lot to celebrate the summer solstice. I will always charge some water in the daylight hours for the solstice, for the sun energy water for the year. And I will usually do a tarot spread, and I always make a feast. No matter what the holiday is, I always make a feast that kind of represents the energy of the day. But other than that, I don't personally do a whole hell of a lot to celebrate the summer solstice anymore. But I have compiled a list of things that I have either done in the past or the very few things that I do still do. So I would highly recommend, if you are a summer bunny, that you really take the time to connect with this energy and allow it to just fuel you, because certain people are sun worshipers. Like, they just thrive in the summer months, and I kind of wilt in the summer. So if you are someone who thrives in the summertime, this is your time of year. This is your time to really develop your practice and to really soak in that energy that's going to help sustain you on the other half of the wheel when you're probably feeling your wiltiness. So for me, summer is my wilty time. It's, you know, I don't do a whole lot. I'm not outside. I'm not really, I mean, I'm active. I'm constantly moving, but the heat is just draining to me. So I really don't do a whole lot outside. And in turn, I don't really do a whole lot magically or spiritually at this time of year. But if summer is your season, if that is the season in which you thrive, this is the time of year that you really want to harness that energy and kind of literally bottle it up. Get some sun water, do the magical workings that will then sustain you through the darker months of the year when you're probably not feeling the highest energy that you can feel. So I've made a list of some of the things that I either still do. I don't do a whole lot, but I will do one or two of these things. But I have done all of these things in the past. So Litha is the summer solstice. It is the first day of summer, and it is the longest day of the year. Some people call it midsummer. That makes zero sense to me because today is the first day of summer. So I don't know how it can be midsummer if it's the first day of summer. But yeah, so it kind of begins the harvesting time for some people. That again does not resonate with me because everything is in full bloom. And yes, you can start to see the garden flourish, and you may be getting some of the fruits of your labor, so to speak, but it's not really a harvest time for me. I'm so sorry that my phone is blowing up right now. Let me silence it. I apologize about that. Anyway, so Yeah, some people, this kind of starts the harvest time for them, not so much for me. So the first thing that I recommend doing, if you can, is going to the beach or some other outdoor place and spending some time in the sun. I cannot do that because I am highly allergic to the sun. I will crispy fry even with sunscreen on. If I do go, I have gone to the beach on the summer solstice, but I always go late in the day when the sun is not at its peak. I never go to the beach before about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, I'll go to the beach. I'll, spend some time out in the sun on that day, but I have to do it very late in the day. If you can, and if you enjoy it, spend the day outside and soak up those rays carefully, of course, and just bask in that energy. Do something outdoors if you can. If you don't live near the beach, or if you are not a beach person, you can always go to a park or some other outdoor place like a lake or the river, or any place that you feel comfortable being outside and spending time out in the sun. Even if you have to do it under an umbrella, just being out in that energy is going to just kind of fuel you with that summer solstice energy. If you can't be outside, you can bring the outdoors in. You can open up your windows and doors. If you can't have the actual doors and windows open, at least have the blinds or the curtains open so that sun is pouring in. You can see I'm kind of sitting off to the side in my chair today. That's because I'm actually facing the window. I want the sun straight on me today. So I'm kind of sitting sideways rather than, facing my camera this way. I'm actually facing the window so that the sunlight is shining right on me. I don't go outside a whole lot. I will spend some time outside this evening, but it's just too hot and repressive right now. So for me, I'm sitting inside my house where it's nice and comfy and air conditioned, but my curtains are open, the sunlight is shining through, and I'm still soaking in that energy. I have skylights in my house, which are really helpful because I can actually sit directly under the sun, but not be in the sun, if that makes sense. So if you can't be outside, at least sit by the window, sit under a skylight if you can, go out on your front porch. Be careful, be safe. Don't be out in the sun if it's not safe for you, but try to bring the sunlight in as much as you can and spend some time with that solar energy. Another way you can do this is by making a sun wheel. You can actually make a crystal grid using, quartz and carnelian and citrine and those other orangey yellow jaspers, whatever stones you have on hand that are either fire energy or sun energy, or at least the colors of those summertime colors, reds, oranges, and yellows, those bright, vibrant, fiery colors. You can create a crystal grid that either looks like the sun or that represents the sun, and use that crystal grid, charge that crystal grid with the sun's energy, with that solar solstice energy, and use that throughout the year, or at least just in your ritual or for your altar space. Charge those crystals, create the sun wheel with those crystals using that crystal grid, and harness the energy that way if you can't actually be outside. And the same goes with sun water. Like I said, I always charge water outside on the summer solstice. I usually take like a wine bottle and fill it with plain, I use bottled water. I use spring water because I don't have a natural spring nearby. So I will purchase spring water, put it into a glass jar, and then sit it outside. I sit it outside when I first wake up in the morning and let it go until the sun starts to go down. And I just leave it outside charging in the sun. You can leave it for the full 24 hours to get the entire solstice energy in there, but I charge mine with the sun. So I put it outside when I get up. You could do it at sunrise if you're gonna wake up that early. I'm not gonna purposely wake up that early just for some sun water, but if you are, more power to you. So when I get up in the morning, that's one of the first things I do on the solstice is put my water out in the sun, and I place it where the sun will shine on it all day long. Because the sun moves throughout the sky throughout the day, moves through the sky throughout the day. So you want to find a place that it will be lit by sunlight all day long, or just keep in mind that you might have to keep moving it as the shade moves around and the sun moves around. You might have to keep moving your water. So if you can, find a place where it will get sun all day long and charge your sun water with that solar energy on the solstice. If you can, cook outside or have a picnic outside, have some sort of a meal outside. I always do a ritual feast, and we try to either do a picnic or a cookout. I kind of treat the summer solstice similar to 4th of July. Like, that's the kind of food that we eat. Cookout food, you know, hot dogs, hamburgers, stuff on the grill, ribs, corn on the cob, salad, those kinds of things. That's the type of food that we have on summer solstice. So if you can, do some sort of a cookout or a picnic, or at least try to eat outside, even if it's just you and your family sitting in your front yard on a blanket for a little impromptu picnic. If you can, try and have your meal outside and soaking up that solar energy. Again, be safe, do it in the shade, wear some sunscreen, don't be out in the heat too long. This is also a really good time to cleanse everything. I use every holiday on the calendar to cleanse. I don't care if it's a Gregorian holiday or a pagan holiday, whether it's a Sabbath or an Esbat or what have you, full moon, it doesn't matter to me. I use that energy to cleanse everything. So every holiday I will cleanse my crystals, my tarot decks, my altar space. I'll change the decorations. I will smudge myself. I'll take a ritual bath or ritual shower. Like right now, it's just too hot outside. I'm not going to be soaking in a hot bathtub, but I will take a nice shower and use that to cleanse myself. If you have charged water, you can use that to rinse. So you may want to do 2 bottles or jars or what have you of sun water, one just for magical purposes throughout the year, and another to use in your ritual bath that you can then rinse yourself with. I use every holiday as an opportunity to cleanse, because the cleaner your spiritual and magical spaces, the easier it is for your energy to get out into the world and manifest the things that you're trying to bring to life. So I also charge everything on the solstices, blah, 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 blah. On the summer solstice and the winter solstice. I charge everything because they have very different energies. So I charge everything with that sun energy, with that solar energy, with that bright, powerful, vibrant energy. I put everything that I can. I don't necessarily sit them outside because the sun can ruin some of your items, but sit them in a windowsill. If you can, sit them outside. I sit mine in the sunroom, in a place where they are getting light but not direct sunlight. I have put things out in direct sunlight before, thinking that it would be fine just for a little while, and to my dismay they were faded within, just like an hour or two being outside. So be very careful with what you're putting outside. Keep in mind that the sun can fade, like printed photos or imagery, like for a tarot deck, the sun will fade it really quickly. So I would not suggest putting it in direct sunlight. But maybe, like under a tree in the shade, so it's getting that energy, or in a sunroom. You also don't want them to blow away. So just keep those things in mind. But I charge everything with the solar energy on the solstice. If you're up for it, you can totally get up and watch the sunrise and sunset. This is the longest day of the year. So you're going to get up really early and see the sunrise, and then you're going to be waiting a long time today for the sun to go down. I've been taking note, and it's the sun goes down later and later each day, and it's 7:30, 8 o'clock at night before the sun even starts to get low in the sky. So sunset might not be until late in the evening, even nighttime, what we would think of as nighttime before the sun goes down. But you could totally watch the sunrise and sunset on the summer solstice. If you see that I keep looking down, it's because I have my notes here on my tablet. I wrote, again, pages, if I could scroll, pages of notes. Again, I don't know if you could see that, but I just turned the page, and I've just got pages and pages of notes for... I've been doing this for like 20 years now, so there's a lot in this brain, and I'm trying to condense it all down and just kind of give brief overviews of everything, but it's still a lot of information. So if you see that I keep looking down, that's why. I'm just reading over my list of things and then free speaking about each of those topics. So The next thing says make crafts with oranges or lemons or anything that, you know, kind of has that bright circular sun vibrant color thing happening. Oranges and lemons both kind of look like little miniature suns, so using those in your crafts for summer solstice is perfect. You can dry lemons and orange slices in the sun today. Keep going outside and flipping them over. If you have dried orange or lemon slices on hand, you can make crafts with those today. I actually make witch's ladders of sorts with mine. I have one hanging right there. You can't really see it, but I made it for a fall garland. So it's orange slices, cinnamon sticks, and bay leaves. That has a very fall feel to it, but you could easily do that for the summertime as well. You could do fresh leaves that you collect on a nature walk, and orange or lemon slices, and maybe some twigs that you find outside. So you could incorporate things that you find on a nature walk with dried fruits that look like the sun to create summer solstice decorations, or just to do summer solstice crafts with. Definitely go on a nature walk if you can. Go collect those items to make your crafts. Take a walk through a park or just through your neighborhood, gathering up all of the little bits that you can find, rocks and twigs and leaves and, you know, flowers or what have you. Collect all of those items and then come home and make a cool little craft with them. Place them on your altar. Use them as divination tools. The possibilities are endless. So go on a nature walk and collect things to then come back and use in your ritual today. If you go to the beach, you could also collect seashells or rocks. I always look for hagstones when I go to the beach, and I use those in ritual. I actually have one on a tarot deck. I like to collect hagstones and seashells. So you could, instead of going on a nature walk, you could go on a beach walk and collect seashells, you know, beach glass, petrified wood, or whatever is washed up on the sea. Make jewelry with it, make crafts with it, use it in your divination, or use it as an altar decoration. Summertime is like the height of berry season, so this is the perfect time to go out and pick berries and then bring them home and make delicious desserts or jams and jellies. This is a really good time of year to start canning. I know it's not really a harvest time, but certain things are in season right now, so this is the time to start canning those things. So berries are abundant right now. Make fresh strawberry jam or, you know, blueberry cobbler. Peaches are also in season right now, so this is the perfect time to do anything with peach jam, peach cobbler, those kinds of things. So anything that is in season right now, this is the time to get those items and can them to use later on, or to make delicious fresh meals that contain those items at the peak of their freshness. Use them in your summer recipes. I like to make salads with fresh fruits in them, and then I do like a nice balsamic vinaigrette dressing on the top with a little bit of feta, maybe some walnuts. Oh, fresh berries at this time of year are delicious, so use them as much as you can in either your fresh recipes or in things that you're going to make to keep throughout the rest of the year. As always, you can make an incense blend. So grind up some of that dried lemon or orange peel. Use some of those berry leaves or the actual fresh berries that you may have dried and create an incense using those items. Dragon's blood is a really good resin that you can use to create the base for your incense, and then adding things to it. Rosemary is really good at this time of year. Anything that has that very fresh, uplifting scent to it, you want to use that to create your incense for the summer solstice. One of my favorite things to do on the summer solstice is to make s'mores. We don't camp, really. Like, my husband and son will go on occasion. I do not camp. I will not camp. My idea of camping is the Hilton. So yeah, I don't go camping, but I do love s'mores. So in the summertime, we will actually use our grill to roast some marshmallows, or if we have a fire pit, we may use the fire pit, and we will do the marshmallows and the chocolate and the graham crackers, do the whole bit and make s'mores. So this is a really good time, especially if you're doing a cookout. We like to do hot dogs on the grill, and then for dessert we make s'mores, and that's just kind of our dessert for solstice. But it's just a really fun activity. I don't care how old you are, s'mores are fucking delicious. So if you like them, today is a really good time to sit outside, sit around a campfire, even if it's in your own backyard, and make some delicious s'mores. Obviously, every holiday is a good time for divination, so this is a good time to look at what is abundant for you and what is really blooming for you, the things that need more sun energy. These are the kinds of questions that you could be asking in your divination. Use the items that you've collected in your nature walk or on your beach walk as sort of a little throwing stones divination kit or a charm divination kit, and ask some questions regarding, what needs more energy, where is your energy being focused right now, or what needs more of that solar power behind it. These are the kinds of questions you can be asking in your divination. I already kind of touched on this a little bit with the oranges and lemons, but this is a really good time to sun dry something. So maybe that just means your laundry. Maybe that means you hang your laundry out to dry in the sun on the solstice. Maybe you use some of your ritual clothing, you give it a good wash, you cleanse it, and then you hang it outside in the summer sun to dry. But you can literally sun dry things. So those lemon and orange slices, you can dry them in the sun. You can dry berries in the sun. You can dry your herbs in the sun. This is a really good time for all of that because the power of the sun is so strong right now. It's just going to help those things dry out quite a bit faster. You can also make sun tea. Now, I know this can be kind of dangerous, so please do your research and know what's safe and know why you maybe should or should not make sun tea. I personally do not make it, but I know that it's a thing, which is why I'm mentioning it here. Again, do your research. I, again, do not make sun tea, but I know that some people do. So if you are on the sun tea camp, then today's a really good time to make it, and you can also charge it with the energies using that as a ritual drink. Putting a spell into it for, health or abundance or whatever for your family or for anyone who drinks that tea, and then serving it in ritual or serving it at your summer solstice feast. Along with those things comes tie-dye and other sun art. So tie-dye is just a cool summer project anyway. Tie up some bundles of t-shirts with some rubber bands and get some cool colors, or even just tea. If you don't want to do the bright tie-dye colors, you could tie-dye with tea or coffee and sitting it out in the summer solstice. Again, you could make this a piece of ritual clothing. You could make a ritual cloth or a tarot reading cloth this way. Tie-dye it in the summer solstice sun. Add the energies of that, empower it, make it a spell, and really use the energy of the sun to transform the mundane fabric into something more ritualistic or spiritual for you. It doesn't have to be. I mean, it could just be a really cool fucking t-shirt in the end, but you could absolutely make this into something much deeper than just a really cool t-shirt. You could also press or dry flowers. So going on your nature walk, collecting those flowers, laying them out in the sun to dry, or pressing them in a book or in whatever other pressing method that you have. Today is a good time to do that. You can then use those flowers later on in perhaps your fall tablescapes and altar decorations, but collecting them now while they are at their full bloom and vibrant colors, today is a great day to do that. You could also paint the items that you collect. So let's just say you go to the beach and collect several beach stones. You could then come back and paint those. You could turn them into a divination set. So you could gather, let's just say 20 to 40 stones of the whatever size and shape you're looking for, bring them home, paint runes on them, paint symbols on them, paint numbers on them, or letters on them. Just use your creativity here, and you can actually develop your own divination set from the items that you collect. It's really cool if you do it on one of the holidays or SBATs, but you don't have to. But if you're going to be out on the beach today, collect some rocks and then bring them home and turn them into a divination set. One of my favorite things to do on the summer solstice is to create either a witch's ball or a witch's bottle. These can both be used as protection charms. You can collect items that you find on your nature walk, then place them into a bottle, charge them with the sun's energy for that solar power, for that protection, and then either bury it in your front yard or hang it near your front door. And they're just really good to have for protection. And the last thing on my list is to sew a flowy skirt or some other summer apparel item. So it's really simple to make a flowy skirt. You just cut some strips of fabric, stitch them together, put some elastic in the top, and there you go, you have a skirt. You could use the fabric that you cleanse, hang in the sun to dry, and tie-dye to then make a cool flowy skirt or a simple little tank top. But you know, having something that you can then wear throughout the rest of the summer on the solstice, I think is really cool. You can turn it into a piece of ritual clothing, or just have it be an awesome article of clothing that you wear throughout the entire summer. But having something that you have made yourself and then wear throughout the summer, I think is really cool. So I like doing that. I've done that several years in a row, and I have some material that I may stitch into a skirt this year, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to turn it into, but I am going to sew something on the solstice. I think that's just a really cool thing to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm not a summertime kind of girl. This is my wilty time of year, but if summer is your season, take advantage of it. Soak it up. Use that energy, bottle it up, and that way you'll have it to use throughout the rest of the year. Make something that has that solar energy in it that will power you through those darker months later on in the cycle of the wheel. So if summer is your season, do not let this be the end all be all for you. Please tell us what you do. How do you go about gathering that energy, harnessing that energy, and then using it throughout the rest of the year? Share it in Edie'd Cosmic Gathering Place, and hopefully, you know, between all of us, some more ideas are sparked and people are really able to harness the summer solstice energy. Remember, the journal prompts and questions are exactly the same for every holiday on the entire wheel of the year. So if you reference the in bulk video, there are journal prompts and questions on that one where I go through and like explain everything. So please refer back to that video. The questions are exactly the same at every turn of the wheel. However, the answers will always be different. So please refer back to that. There's a file here in Edie'd Cosmic Gathering Place that has the list of all the videos and the journal questions and things like that. So check those out in the files section. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You can post it in the group or send me a private message and I will direct you where you need to be in order to get that information. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are enjoying this series. If there's anything else that you would like me to add to the series, you know, an additional category or something else you would like me to talk about on each of these videos, please let me know so that I can add it. I want your voice to be heard. So if you are missing something, if there's something more that you want me to add, if you want to see me go through my day or anything like that, please let me know and I will start adding that to the Discovering Your Energetic Wheel of the Year series, but I don't know if you don't tell me. So if I don't hear anything from you, I will just keep them as they are. Like I said, I hope you're enjoying this series and I hope that they are resonating with you and helping you to develop your practice and develop your own personal energetic associations with every turn of the wheel. Remember, if you like what I do here, don't forget to hit the little subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. And then click the little bell. That way you get the notifications from YouTube letting you know I have uploaded a new video. Remember, this series is an exclusive to Edie'd Cosmic Gathering Place. So please don't share the video outside of this group. It is an unlisted link, so only those of you with the link can see it. And if you know of someone who would enjoy it or benefit from the series, please just have them join Edie'd Cosmic Gathering Place. That way they have full access to all of the videos and they can join in the conversation. Thank thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you spending your holiday with me, and I hope you have an amazing summer solstice. Stay safe out there, keep your sunscreen on, stay in the shade, stay hydrated, but get out there and enjoy the day. Remember, you are fierce, you are fabulous, and you are fucking badass. So keep that shit up, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye! And the last thing on my list is to sew a flowy skirt. I have done this on the summer solstice. I've made quite a few pieces of clothing for wearing throughout the summer on the solstice. You could tie-dye your fabric and then stitch it into a flowy skirt. You could make a little tank top. You could make, you know, a wrap of some sort. But turning the fabric that you may have tie-dyed or sun-dried into something else is really cool to do on the summer solstice. You don't have to make anything, you don't have to sew anything, and if you do, it can be something very simple, but it's, you know, it's a really good time for actually creating something from something else, if that makes sense. So you find the flowers, you press the flowers, you then make a wreath with the flowers, right? You cleanse the fabric, you sun dry the fabric, you tie dye the fabric, and then you turn it into a skirt. So the summer solstice can be about that full cycle and bringing things to their full fruition, kind of like the seed. The seed contains the entire thing. So, you know, the seeds are starting to come up right now. Are they? Am I talking out of my ass again?